Hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish-kristyn. Today is a very highly requested video topic. I've been working diligently behind the scenes, trying to collect as much information as I can, and today we are going to get started with how to plan out your own cross-stitch conversion project. So, before we get started, I hope you enjoy my new logo. Very cute, very cute. It's the same great content, just a new logo. And if you would not mind, please consider liking and subscribing because you're going to want to come back for part 2. That's right. I have to divide this into 2 parts. Otherwise, I don't know how long the video is going to be and, attention spans and all that jazz. So, first off, what is a cross-stitch conversion project? So, these are my 2 current conversions. And if you have been a diamond painter, if you've been on social media, on YouTube, you will have seen people talking about a diamond painting conversion project, diamond painting cross-stitch conversion project. Some people just call them a HADE, which is, short for Heaven and Earth Designs. It's all the same thing. You are taking a blank canvas like this, and you are using a pattern like this, and it might be on Pattern Keeper, it might be on paper, it might be on markup, it could be on something else, and you are basically putting all the pieces together yourself. So you're taking away the step of just purchasing a diamond painting that's already pre-charted. Everything is together, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This is a way to make things more difficult for yourself because we all like to make things difficult. Sometimes we want a challenge. Sometimes a regular diamond painting is just getting a little boring. So yeah, this is something a lot of people tend to take on. I will say I did not invent this concept by any means. The first person I saw working on one of these was Rebecca at Add More Zest. And I'm not sure where she saw the idea from. If anybody knows who originated the diamond painting cross-stitch conversion project, the first person who saw a cross-stitch pattern and said, hey, I want to make a diamond painting from that, let me know, because that would be really interesting to find out. We're going to go over in this video what is a conversion project, how do you pick a pattern, and how do you get a canvas. And then in video 2, we will go over how to get drills, how to use Pattern Keeper, and then some tips about how to get started. So a conversion can definitely seem overwhelming because, again, you have to kind of do all the legwork yourself. It's not just clicking add to cart and, pay now. But it's not that hard once you kind of have an idea of what you are doing. A cross-stitch conversion project is where you take a cross-stitch pattern and you use that pattern and you turn it into a diamond painting. So that's basically it. So you are in charge of finding the pattern, getting the blank canvas without the printed symbols, getting the drills, and you follow the pattern to make the image. Another reason some people want to do a conversion project is they want to use up their spare drills. A lot of us keep our spare drills from, our diamond paintings that are left over, and we don't really want them to go to waste, but we don't know what to do with them. So doing a conversion is a good way to use up some spares. Although if you do a big one, it's going to take a lot of spares, which, could take you a really long time to save. Some people live somewhere where you can't just, easily order something and get free shipping. So if shipping is, a potential problem, maybe the shipping is really expensive, maybe shipping is really slow, this can also be a great way to get some diamond paintings. And when you look at cross-stitch patterns, there are a lot of cross-stitch patterns out there in the universe. There are a lot of different websites that you can buy cross-stitch patterns from. There's some that you can get free patterns from. I mean, you can go to Heaven and Earth Designs. You can go to Etsy. You can go to Unconventional Cross Stitch. There are so many patterns out there. You just need to know kind of what you're looking for. And that's what we are going to do when we get onto the computer. Some people decide to work on a conversion project as a back burner project, right? So they might pull it out once or twice a week. Other people might just work on conversion projects only. You know, it's up to you what you want to do for your project. I tend to work on it here and there, but I do not make this my main project because I need some downtime, and I do feel like using a pattern on Pattern Keeper and, you know, really having to pay attention to where I'm putting the drills, it does use a little more brain power for me personally. So this is a back burner project for me. Most people use square drills when they're doing a conversion project. You can use rounds, but rounds will leave a little circle, and you do need a separate canvas for rounds versus squares because round diamonds are 2.7 millimeters and square diamonds are 2.5 millimeters. So if you try to put round diamonds on this canvas, it ain't gonna work. I do not have any experience with doing rounds, so for the sake of these videos, I'm just going to be, you know, referring to squares. But you do you, boo. If you want to do rounds, go for it. Oh, I got one that's popping up right there. There are other ways to do a conversion without using a blank canvas like this. Diamond Painting Between the Lines did a whole video series about printing the patterns onto transparencies and then taping them together and then putting down double-sided adhesive and then I think a different type of adhesive as well. And Joan Diamond Paints did the same technique, but I think she used computer paper and then she laminated them and then put the double stick adhesive down. So there are other ways. You can use graph paper. You could print out a gridded paper from the internet. I think Heaven and Earth actually has a grid, but don't quote me on that. So there's lots of different ways. You know, usually when you buy a canvas like this, it's going to be poured glue, but there are double-sided adhesive, and we will go over that in the canvas section as well. There are also some pre-assembled kits. I know Jaded Gem Shop has some patterns that already, you know, like you get the PDF pattern, you get the right size canvas, and you get the drills all included in one kit. So if you are interested to see, like, you know, maybe, I don't know if I really want to try this out or not, that could be a good option to kind of, you know, dip your toes in the water, because you might try it and you might hate it. And if you're going to buy a ginormous pattern and then buy all the drills and buy all the canvases, it's definitely a potentially better way to go, you know, if you just kind of want to sample things and see if it's right for you. So we are going to start with picking a pattern. Picking a pattern can be one of the most exciting parts of it and one of the most confusing because, you know, there's a lot of things in cross stitch patterns. When you look at a pattern, there's lots of terms and words and numbers, and a lot of it does not matter to us as diamond painters, but it's more for, you know, the cross stitchers. And again, just like regular diamond paintings, there are licensed and unlicensed images that are going to be available online. The bigger sites, you know, like Heaven and Earth, Unconventional Cross Stitch, a lot of those sites, they make sure that they're only using licensed artwork that the artist is being fairly compensated for. Etsy is a bit more of a gray area. So some people will create their own patterns. Other people will just take regular pictures and convert them into, you know, cross-stitch patterns. So do your homework if you are concerned about potentially buying unlicensed artwork, especially on Etsy or, you know, unknown cross-stitch sites. Oh, now my cat's singing. Thank you. So if you are going to go somewhere like Heaven and Earth, you need to be aware of the pattern sizes. And if you pick a pattern, you want to be sure that you're going to want to work on it for a while, because these projects do take a while to finish. You know, that will kind of determine, like, how long do you think you want to work on it will maybe determine how big of a size you want to go. And we'll go over the heaven and earth sizing and some of the abbreviations when we go on the computer. But sometimes the same picture will have different sizes. And, you know, there are pros and cons to each one of those. Because if you know, let's say the pattern is 999 stitches wide. Then there's also a pattern with, you know, the same picture that's 400 stitches wide. Well, you're shrinking the artwork down. So there is going to be less detail, you know, but it doesn't mean that it's going to look bad. It's just not going to have as much detail as the one that's twice as big. You want to make sure that you are getting a pattern that has full coverage and no half stitches, because they don't sell half diamonds. It might be nice, but they don't. And, you know, as much as I want to try to cut a little diamond in half, it ain't going to happen. When looking at a pattern, it's a good idea to pick one that comes in a PDF format. So if your pattern can, you know, just be sent to you digitally, then you could either print it out on paper if you really, you know, want to follow a paper chart, or you import the PDF into something like Pattern Keeper or Markup, and then you can follow it along with that. You know, I've never done one on paper, or I've never tried to buy a pattern that doesn't have a PDF, so I have no experience with that. Let's go over to the computer. We are on the Heaven and Earth Designs webpage. This is one of the most popular sites that people choose to get their conversion projects from, because they have a lot of artists and they have things in all sizes and stuff. We are going to go to the frequently asked questions, and we will go over quickly what the abbreviations, acronyms mean, because there's going to be a lot of symbols and letters on some of these patterns, so it's helpful to know what they mean. So, no BK, no background, which means the pattern will just kind of be floating in the screen, basically. So, like if you just had, you know, black fabric, for example, then you would be stitching it on black fabric, and the black would be the background. Quick stitch, so it's only a section of the original artwork. So a lot of times quick stitches will just be like a little tiny picture from a giant piece of art. Select a size is a great option if you're looking for a certain size piece, such as for a box top or a certain frame. I don't really know if that applies to the diamond painting. Request a size. I think you can choose any picture and you can request a size if you want something smaller, for example. A SK story keep is a long, narrow design. Those can be good for a first-time project because they are smaller. SS is supersize, so that is the very large designs with the maximum amount of detail. A lot of the max color images will be supersized, so like 999 stitches large. CE is color expansion, so that's when it goes from 90 colors to 250 colors. Again, some people like to do things with that many colors. That's a little overwhelming for me personally, but I know people like a challenge, and that is definitely a challenge. This is a cross-stitchy thing. I don't know what it means. MC, max colors, so that is when it will have a lot of colors, up to 250. A BAP is a big-ass project. Didn't know that. Thanks. WIP, work in progress. UFO, nickname given to an abandoned piece. And random act of kindness, stitch along. And frogging is having to rip out stitches. So there is a frog symbol on Pattern Keeper, and we will go over that as well when we do that. So let's go to charts by artist. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of artists on this website. It can be slightly overwhelming, honestly, because you want to see everything, right? But you don't want to click on everything. So if you will recognize some of these names too. There are some that, you've seen on other websites. Example, Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And who else do I recognize? I'm sure there's some that you guys are like, I recognize that one. But yeah, there are so many. Let's go to Donna Gelsinger. So she has diamond paintings at other companies. So as you can see, right now they're having a sale. So let's click on A Christmas Prayer. So if we go down here, finished design size is going to be 600 by 499 stitches. So that's not inches, that's not centimeters, that is stitches. So for us to find how big our diamond painting is going to be, we would need to take the 600 and divide it by 4, because there are 4 diamonds per centimeter on a diamond painting. So 600 divided by 4, oh my gosh, can I find my calculator? I don't even know where the calculator is, guys. Calculator. Okay, let's open the calculator. Oh, okay. So 600 divided by 4 equals 150. So your diamond painting would be 150 wide. Okay. Next, go back to the internet. By 499. So 499. How do I go back? Well, no, this is a fail. Okay. So 499 divided by 4 equals. So if this pattern will be 150 centimeters by 124 centimeters, right? Think about where your diamond painting sweet spot is. Think about the canvas size that you enjoy. Because 150, that's a decent sized canvas, especially if you're trying to put it all on one canvas and not split it up, for example. So you kind of got to take that into consideration when you're picking your patterns, because yes, we all want the giant patterns, but are you going to actually be able to work on the pattern and finish it? This particular pattern has 86 colors, and a lot of times, and it doesn't say it on this one because why would it? So there is a floss usage chart. So it will tell you how much floss you will need. Now, we don't use floss, but it does give you your DMC numbers, and anything from 01 to 035, they do not have diamonds for. So you will have to find substitutions for those, and we will go over that in the drills. So keep going down. This is telling you how many skeins of floss you need, but it will tell you full, half, quarter, whatever all those things are, don't know. So full stitches equal diamonds. So for DMC 3822, you need 446 diamonds. This will be your friend when you are collecting your diamonds, because it tells you how many diamonds of every color you need. So for this one, you would want to go online to maybe threadbare.com and find a proper substitution for it. And if at all possible, try to find a substitution that isn't already in the painting. Sometimes that's difficult. Usually with something with this much confetti, it's not gonna matter. So there is that. So we're gonna close that bad boy up. So that is just one pattern, right? So sometimes this has a long winter's nap, And this is color expansion, which means it's going to have more colors. So same with this one. All Hallows Eve, max colors. So here's American Angel. American Angel, no background, which I think that might be harder with the diamond painting, but I don't know. This one says no clouds. Let's see. Let's go back to the website. So, I mean, there are just, it's a plethora. It's almost overwhelming, honestly. I really do, I really do feel overwhelmed sometimes when I come to this website. All right, let's click on him because they have a lot of Aqua City. I want to find one that has a mini. No, that's not going to work. Okay. Okay, let's find somebody who has a mini. I think Amy Stewart has some minis. Let's go to her. Hers section is massive. So her stuff has actual like sections. So color expansion, max color, minis, no background, ornaments, quick stitch, regular charts, story keep, and select a size. So let's go to story keep. So as you can see, it's just like a little picture that's probably out of one of her bigger pieces of art. And if we go down here, 225 by 455. So that is a little bit more manageable because that will be like, what, 75 centimeters or something like that. Let's see, 225 by 455. Okay, let's go like this. So 2 clear. So we have 225 divided by 4. Oh, that's not 4. Okay, so we have 225 divided by 4 equals. So 56.25 centimeters by 455 divided by 4. So that would be like 57 by 114, let's say, which is a little bit more manageable, in my opinion. I would be more likely to buy that than one of her ginormous ones. And it'll tell you how many pages, which again, if you're just putting it into Pattern Keeper, it's not as, hard, I guess, to figure out. So those are some story keeps from Amy Stewart. She has beautiful artwork. And then, of course, there are just regular charts, okay? Regular charts. So here is, let's see, this is a very popular one. A Stitch in Time. So 725 by 518. So that's definitely going to be bigger. So we have 725 divided by 4 equals 181 centimeters by 518 divided by 4. Yeah. So again, you have to figure out what size you want. I mean, there's no wrong or right size for you to choose. It's just kind of, what you want to do. Let's go over to Etsy, because there are a lot of different options on Etsy as well. So let's say cross stitch, not patterns, okay? And let's say PDF. And if you find something on Etsy that you're not sure if it's compatible with Pattern Keeper or Markup or something, you can always message the seller if it's not listed in the description. So let's see, this is the stitch patterns, and I actually just bought something from them, and it will be in one of the other videos. So here is a set of 6 smaller charts, okay? And they will measure, I think it says 5 by 7 after all is said and done. It does not give you a stitch count on these, but yeah, they're very petite, which, again, if you're just trying to try something out, definitely a good option. And I do know that these are compatible with Pattern Keeper because I did load one in. And we will load one in together. But there are so many different cross-stitch patterns. I mean, if you really want to cut loose, and you could go crazy just searching for things. But again, Etsy is a little bit less strict on the is it licensed or not licensed. So you just have to be aware of that. There are potential options for you to make your own pattern from a custom photo or a picture of a piece of artwork, or something your kids have drawn. I have never done this, but Katia over at Carpe Diem Does Diamond Painting did a video, and I will link that below, about how she makes some of her patterns on Threadbare, the website. You can put in a picture, you can pay to have it converted into a cross-stitch pattern. You can choose, the color number range that you want, how many different colors you want. And then it also has like a corresponding program or an app. But so she has done that. I've never done it, but it is a very interesting idea. If you have something that you already have, or you have a photo that you love that you want to use, that is another option. And also, just FYI, a lot of places they want you to download your pattern as soon as possible. So you need to download it to your computer or a Google Drive or something, because sometimes the links will expire and then you will be left without a pattern. You don't want that, guys. So that is it for the patterns, I think. Now we are going to talk about canvases. One thing I do want to bring up, again, it kind of goes along with choosing a pattern, is depending on the size of your pattern, how do you want to work on it? So for example, this pattern is 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. I know that I can't fit 50 centimeters probably on my table and maneuver it and roll it up and fold it up comfortably. So I decided to work on the pattern in 2 sections or 2 canvases. And I know for me, I work better if it's long and skinny versus wide and skinny. So you have to figure out what your comfort zone is, what your size sweet spot is, because if it's too big and cumbersome, you're not going to want to pull it out and work on it, which defeats the purpose of doing this in the first place. Canvases. Obviously, there are different kinds of canvases. You can have a poured glue canvas, which is what I have used for my 2 conversions. There are double-sided adhesive canvases. There's pros and cons to each one of them. Poured glue, you can slide things a little bit better, and double-sided adhesive, you have to be a little more precise with where you place. It can be personal preference, but I know a lot of the sellers online are now going to poured glue. It's not as hard to find as it used to be, which is nice. And again, then there's the potential canvas choice of, there's my cat, of doing like diamond painting between the lines, which again, I will link below, of making, you're not helping, oh my gosh, of printing the symbols on, transparency, or like Joan Diamond Paints did with printing it on computer paper and laminating it and then putting adhesive down. There's so many options that you can use. So you don't have to be narrowed in to just, I have to buy a canvas. But for all intensive purposes, we are going to go over to the computer and I will show you how I ordered my canvases for this project on AliExpress. I have done 1 canvas from Heaven and Earth Designs. There is I think, get a quote for a custom size canvas link. I think you have to pay $2 and then you tell them how big you want it and then they send you a link. So there's that. And then I ordered this from Evermoment. So we will go over that. One thing I recommend when you are ordering a canvas is to go bigger, because it's better to have a little bit extra, like over here, than it is to be short. You don't want to have to cut off part of your image, like because you just don't have enough room. You know, you don't want to run out of space. So I always go 5 centimeters over what I think it's supposed to be, doing the, you know, the math that we did earlier when we mathed. And I always go 5 centimeters on the side and 5 centimeters, you know, at the bottom, just to make sure, because I don't want to have to, you know, buy another canvas with like 2 rows on. That would just be silly, guys. I will say when you're emailing a seller, because there is potentially a language barrier when you're buying stuff on AliExpress, you want to be precise with your wording, and you want to make it abundantly clear what exactly you're looking for, you know, what size, what material, like you want it for square drills, you want it, you know, the glue area to be this size. And I'll go over my my messages with Evermoment while I was asking them about it, just to kind of show you guys how I did it. It's not like it's the only way. There are canvases available on AliExpress and other places that are already like predetermined sizes. If you can find one that's gonna work, maybe it's a little bit big, it could be the cheaper option. Again, I don't know. They didn't have anything remotely the size I needed, so I had to get a custom one. So let's go to the computer, guys. So here we are on AliExpress, and I just searched for Evermoment, and this is what comes up. So here are Evermoment small size blank canvases. As you can see there, you can choose round or square. We're just going to go with the square, and Evermoment does have the numbers on the top and going down the left. I feel like it's helpful. Sometimes it throws me off a little, but you know, again, it's what you prefer. I don't know if there's an option to not have that there. So as you can see, there are a lot of predetermined sizes. So for example, 20 by 20 centimeters, that would be a very, very small one, is 11/18. And if you go down, 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 let's say 40 by 70 is 30/25. And let's go 40 by 120 centimeters. Ooh, so that's 34. And that's about what I paid for mine, actually. So, and it's about that size, but I needed mine bigger than that. There are lots of preset sizes, but I just went with a custom just because it was my first time and I didn't really fully know what I was doing. So yeah. Okay. How do we go to messages? So you can click on Evermoment official store and it will take you to their official store front. Okay, contact now. Oh yes, and Chinese New Year is coming, so yeah, if you contact them, then you know they may not answer right away. Page under maintenance. Are you joking me? That's not helpful at all. Wow. Let's see. Message. Nope, not. I don't know. I don't know what coins are. Okay. Nope. Go back. Go back. Go back. Stupid. Okay. Let's try message center over here. Okay. So here is the message center. So here is my messaging with Evermoment. I was trying to get drills and canvases from them at the same time, but I ended up not getting the drills. So we're just going to skip the drill part and go to the canvas. But yeah, we'll go over the drills when I go over the drill section. I said, you know, I would like to get a quote for a custom sized diamond painting canvas with a poured glue size of 43 centimeters by 118 centimeters, and I will need to order 3 in that size. And then I went back and I said they are for square drills as well. I forgot to mention that. Thank you and have a good day. And they said, you know, yes, we sell the drills and the poured glue blank canvases separately. And then please tell us if the width of please tell us if the width of the 3 square blank canvases is 43 centimeters and the height is 118, or if the width is 118 and the height is 43. Because then if it went the other way, then the numbers would be sideways. And then they wanted me to send the picture of the drill file to the email and not just the picture. And so then obviously what country. So I told them the width is 43 and the height is 118 and I am in the USA. And then they told me they didn't have certain DMCs, that the Ecru and the Blanc and the B5200, which they do have 5200, just not B5200. So FYI. Okay, so then they sent me back this list of the drills, and they said the price of the square drills and the 3 43 by 118 blank square canvases shipped to the United States is $168. And so then they sent me a picture of where I would click to order those things. And so I said, because they didn't have Ecru and the Blanc and I needed those. So I asked if I could just get the canvases, and I would purchase the diamonds at a later time. So then it sent me an automatic message, and then they sent me a link for just the canvases, and it was $98. So I clicked on the link, I did what it asked, I ordered it, and then they sent it. So that was it for the Evermoment canvas ordering. So it was fairly straightforward. Then I got a few like sale ads, but yeah. Then let's see, another website for canvases. I have not used them, but I've heard good things. People that have commented and on my Facebook page have mentioned the Hom Fun store. I've never ordered, but I've heard good things as well. So they are another potential option. Just again, make sure that you are asking for square drills, poured glue, etc., etc. Because you don't want to accidentally get a giant, canvas with double-sided adhesive if you really are not wanting double-sided adhesive. All right, I know that's a lot of information, so that's why I'm dividing this into 2 videos. Part 2, like I said, we'll go over drills, pros and cons of using spares versus ordering new ones, how to order drills from somewhere like AliExpress, some different places where you can potentially order drills from. We will go over Pattern Keeper and how to get started. So if you have not liked and subscribed, please do so, and stay tuned for video number 2. It will be coming out very shortly. I'm recording it right after I finish this one, obviously. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments below. I'm sure there's something I forgot because, I'm not a robot and I don't know everything. And I don't even pretend to know everything about conversions. I'm still a newbie as well. I just wanted to share some of the stuff that I've learned while I've been doing it. So yeah, and make sure to read the comments because maybe somebody else already asked the question that you're asking. And we all can help each other, right? Because sharing is caring. That's what the Care Bears say anyways. So until next time, guys, big awkward hugs. Bye.